Change is something that does not happen to us. Change is always something that happens for us. And it can be difficult at times, absolutely. Doesn't have to be, but it can be. But change is always worthwhile. It can show up 4 ways, and in my book I refer to these as the 4 E's. An event. Okay, let's think about a marriage. That's an event that changes lives. A divorce certainly changes lives. Life, a birth of a child, a death of a loved one. All these changes are events. The pandemic is an event. So events is one way change occurs. The next way change shows up in our lives is through an encounter. And an encounter with another person, and it literally holds the mirror up for you. You identify with some aspect of the character in the movie. You're having an encounter. When you meet somebody, it could be a boss who gives you feedback. It could be delivered as criticism and not maybe positive. That's an encounter because it causes you to go, what? What? No. You know, because truth is absurd when first heard, right? Typically. So usually these encounters are little awakenings we planted for ourselves along the way. An encounter is another way through our relationships. It's when the mirror is literally held up and we can see ourselves, and then that change occurs. An encounter with somebody else, when you admire somebody else, typically it's something in yourself that is not, being expressed. This puts change into motion. An encounter. You meet the love of your life, that encounter changes your life, changes your path. So an event, an encounter, an epiphany. Have you ever had an epiphany?
Yeah, that changes everything.
You can't even describe what an epiphany is.
Oh, the aha moment. Yeah, it's about as good as it gets for me, aha moment.
It is an aha moment, but it's the realization. It's like an instant shift in your belief system. That's really the epiphany. It's like something you believed before, all of a sudden that there is a different light and a twist, and you see it through different lenses, and now it's like, oh, I see it differently. Powerful. That is instant transformation.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Yeah.
And then you have change where it's essential. The 4th E is essential. You go to the doctor and the doctor says, you better quit smoking, or, this is not going to have a good outcome for you. And so you make that change. You make an intention about making that change. Or you get out of a toxic relationship where your spirit is dying. So anything having to do with physical, emotional well-being, mental health, and spiritual well-being, those changes are essential, and transformation starts being put into motion at that point. Those are the ways that it shows up in our life. In understanding just that, we can learn to anticipate when change will occur. Because if there's an event coming up in your life, it doesn't necessarily have to be negative.
Right.
But that your life is changed, and start preparing yourself for that transformation that you're going to go through, whether you're aware of it or not.
Those 4 E's, I never thought about how change comes about. So that totally makes sense to me. All of those make sense to me. Amazing.